Hello, this is Neil from ipaintgirls.com. Please visit the link in the description for more free tutorials, and we'll continue on working with this shadows layer. And remember that I don't know what I was going to say. Remember nothing, so forget that part. Anyway, so we're on the second hour now. The first hour had passed, and now we're working on to the second hour. Just kind of erasing that part there, and I'll come in with the lines in just a second and fix that up, but I want to make a big erase brush tool here and just kind of erase. Actually, I got to make sure, so I want to check something really quick here. Okay, cool. Maybe turn the spacing down just a little bit where it's a little bit more smooth. Under part of the nose here, a little bit of shading there. Notice those little hard lines here and there, like I said, do make a difference sometimes. So I'm thinking if I should have maybe even a slightly darker color than this one for this side. A little bit of, no, that's a little too red, so I'll come down here some more. And just a little bit, you know, to add some change there on that side of the eye. Nope, that up there looks ugly. Maybe I can add a little bit like that. Okay, so that pretty much does the those layers. And now I'm going to go in and erase some of it for the face before I add the highlights. So let's see, I'm going to lock that layer now. Pick this layer, unlock it by clicking that little icon. Now let's go back here. I'm going to add a little bit of lighting to parts that I know, get lit up by backlight and stuff like that. I'm going to use my eraser tool. I'm going to have it on the soft brush, turn it way down to small. And right here, I know that you usually have light hitting there, and you have light hitting here. Also, you'll have light hitting right in here around the eye. Might even have to go and erase some of the shadow layer for that part. I know you have like this milk line usually around here, and I'm not really going for realism so much so, but still keeping certain things in mind will help add some level of authenticity to what you're doing, even though you're not, even though you're going for a cel shaded cartoon look. Adding a little bit of realism here and there does make a difference. I'm going to kind of get rid of a lot of that shading there, so it's kind of the plane of the face. Cool. And then I'm going to get this color here, soft brush. I do want to add a little bit of it back in to that part of the forehead. Maybe just a little bit right there for it's kind of a softer line. Cool. And then I'm going to go really small here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of the shape of the nose in there. And then I can take my eraser tool and just kind of erase some of it, kind of shape it the way I want it to be. Maybe just a little bit of highlight on that part of the nose. Nope, that's too much. Like so. And then I'm going to erase it with a bigger brush, just to kind of bring it down and, for it's not so much there. Right, so just as kind of modeling, I guess, you're just kind of shaping things out. I'll go back to this layer, unlock it, and zoom way in, knowing that I do want to get rid of some of that layer as well for those parts. Okay, so cool. Now our face looks nice. I gotta save, because I haven't saved for a while, forgot. Now we can start adding our highlights, and this is kind of fun, and it's kind of difficult too sometimes with the dodge layer, but we'll do two layers. One layer will just be normal highlights, And I don't know what color you want to use for normal highlights. Maybe just leave it white, and we'll go. Oops. I'm like trying to reach over. My keyword's not right. Hold on. There we go. This layer is called Dodge, which I think yellow will represent nicely. Although I did use yellow for something already. So I'm going to change my base color to orange, just because that makes more sense. And then change shading to red. Oh, it is already red. You can't really see a difference between orange and red. I'll just go back to there. I'll have two yellow layers, but I know the top layer is the dodge layer, so that's cool.